YouTube, what is up, man? It's your boy, DMD Live News, and I'm here to give you the live news. Now, we got Stephen A. Smith on ESPN First Take giving his opinion, his thoughts about Draymond Green stomping, 8-town stomping on Sabonis. Let's get it.
All right, let's unpack this. Stephen, I'll start with you. Do you think Draymond should be suspended?
It's a hard one for me. It's a hard one for me to call. On one angle, I'm looking at him and I'm saying, damn it, it calls for a suspension because it looked excessive. From another angle, I saw Sabonis grab his ankle. And then you're saying, he said, wait a minute, he has a point there. I got to admit, I'm torn in that regard. I will tell you what I do believe is going to happen. And I'm praying that it won't, because obviously you need Draymond to win this series in case you haven't been watching what Sacramento has been doing in these first two games. It wouldn't surprise me at all if the NBA suspended him, because look at what the NBA does.
Hopefully the NBA doesn't suspend him. It's a lot of people saying that the NBA is soft. The NBA don't allow players to play. Well, this what happens when you allow players to play. Call it a tech, eject them for one game, and keep it moving. But he don't need to be suspended. Like, a lot of people always complain about the NBA being too soft. But yet, when they get physical, y'all want to start crying. Come on now.
Does in this day and age. You do see people get suspended for less. And in this particular instance, because of how it looked, depending on which angle you're looking at it from, I think his explanation helps his case, but I don't know how much it'll help against the NBA, considering how the NBA has really been dogged about making sure any kind of transgressions aren't taking place. Not to mention the fact, I don't think it helped. The Sacramento Kings pointed out how the lungs for Sabonis were being examined, MRI, X-rays, etc. They're being examined. Let's see how, in other words, they're trying to say he was harmed by that. And as a result, what are y'all going to do about it? I'm not saying they're faking it by any stretch of the imagination, but it certainly didn't hurt their case to highlight what he's had to endure because of the stomp on his chest if you want Draymond Green out of this playoff series in any way.
Now, I don't believe Stephen A. Smith said anything wrong, because the NBA is a lot. They suspend people over stupid stuff, right? So I wouldn't be surprised if the NBA did suspend Draymond Green, because like I said, these days, they suspend people over just the dumbest stuff. But in all actuality, I don't think he needs to be suspended. Stephen A. Smith surprisingly agrees that he shouldn't be suspended as well. So that's very interesting. I thought Stephen A. Smith was gonna go, do what Stephen A. Smith does, but he actually had some good talking points.
I do not think he should be suspended. I think the way that it was officiated in real time, a technical and a flagrant 2, indicates two players were in the wrong. One, obviously more egregious than the other, but I think because of the play, now if they was rumbling, tumbling, just ended up on the floor and decided to use Sabonis as a step stool to get off the ground, that's a different conversation. But I think the nature of the play, the call, in game, I'm cool, dumb plays on both parties, but let's move on.
I agree.
I don't think he should be suspended, and I also think it's important to understand the context of what has happened over the past two games. And if you go back to the possession prior to Andrew Wiggins' potential game-winning 3, Sabonis pulls down Draymond. All right, they go basically 4-on-4 the rest of the way. Then there's the play early in the fourth where Draymond gets called for a foul. They eventually overturned it. Then Sabonis knocks Draymond over on the offensive end. He draws a charge. The physicality through two games in this series has been extremely high. The way they're grabbing Steph off the ball and they're allowing it. Like normally, if you bear hug a guy off the ball, they're going to call it. They're allowing it twice, 3 times. Alex Len last night had multiple possessions where he set 3.
Say words in the Sacramento Kings. You want Draymond Green.
Still a possibility he gets suspended, and that's his history, right? The kicking in the 2016 finals, the play on LeBron in Game 4 in the 2016 finals. Like, he's got a history, and the league always factors that in.
Well, let me say this. First of all, I want you to be clear about when you say we can't be this way, because there's a lot of people that abhor the fact that the NBA is so touchy-feely these days. They actually like the physicality. They wish that some of that was allowed. They feel that the egregious part is on the part of the league office, which calls everything and is ready to eject everybody for everything instead of letting the players play. So the vast majority of folks out there don't want somebody suspended. They want you on the court. Now you might have to, like if you're Sacramento, you might want to suspend it because that obviously serves your best interest. I'm talking about the fan base and stuff like that. But for the most part, if you're watching the Golden State Warriors in the Sacramento Kings, you want Draymond Green on the court. I don't want him suspended. I pray that he doesn't get suspended. But we can't ignore how the NBA has been in recent memory and how stringent they've been and how dogged they've been against an elevated level of physicality. Everything is under review these days. You're looking for flagrant 1, flagrant 2. You're looking at plays that take place like, really? We got to review that play? Really? Why can't you just let them play? But somehow, some way, they don't do that. And so when you take all of those things into consideration and you see what transpired, I agree with both of y'all, because again, that second footage that I saw, when I saw Sabonis grabbing his ankle, I'm like, yeah, he definitely instigated that. To hell with that. But the NBA may say 2 wrongs don't make a right. You was far more excessive than him. The Sacramento Kings are saying his lungs got to be examined, for crying out loud. we don't know what kind of damage has been done to him.
Draymond said he's going to get an extra ankle.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, exactly. We were the same. Who could play that game? I'm just saying, when those kind of things come about, you don't know how the NBA is going to react. But we all agree. We hope that, and we don't think he should be suspended. But I don't know if that's not going to happen.
But here's the thing.
All right, so there we go, man. I just want to highlight Stephen A. Smith giving his reaction with JJ Redick. Hopefully he don't get suspended. Like I said, people can't complain about the NBA being too soft. And then when it gets a little physical, y'all want to cry and say that he should be suspended. Which one do you want? Do you want the physicality or do you want, you know, what we got now? I don't think he should be suspended. He got ejected for one game. Cool. But the next game, he should be able to play. It's a man's game. Act like it. It's your boy Damn D signing out. Peace.